Hi everyone. In the last video we learned about how to think logically. But now even if you know how to think logically, you need a structure of framework where you can implement this logical thinking in a certain way which will solve a problem. And how to solve a problem is something that we will learn today. And this can be applied to any analytics project or a general thought in your life also. And here we discuss tree approach. This is something I rigorously follow to solve any kind of problem and when I face it. So stay tuned towards the end of the video and hit like if you like this video and share it with your friends. And if you like the video, a lot of people like you will get to know about the video. So let's start. We will start with how we solve a problem. And first I would like to ask Nirantar, when he sees a problem in normal life, how he tries to solve it.
Okay, for any question means or any problem, what kind of resources or tools that we are using, and what is the answer we are looking for with this problem. So, what is our goal, and how, are there any predefined methods available for that, or we can use any predefined methods to solve this problem, or we need to develop it from scratch. So these questions I try to answer before solving any problem.
Okay. Marish, how about you?
Whenever the problems occur, uh, we should try to find out its cause. What things are causing that problem, and how can we find the solution to eliminate that problem, or method to uh, eliminate that problem or reduce that problem,
Elimination.
and reduction.
Right. So if you see, there is some certain steps to solve the problem. Individually you have drawn, you have told them, but if you think our mapping process, there is a structure to this also. कि सबसे पहले what you have to do is you have to find the cause, like Mayuresh mentioned, like why is it happening, why that problem is there in itself. Then you have to figure out either, let's, if we talk in terms of analytics, we have to collect data points around that problem or knowledge around that problem. Even let's say Elon Musk ने reusable rocket बना दिया. He know the root cause कि यार to move from Earth to Mars on a regular basis you need a reusable rockets so that you can make that travel cost effective. ऐसा नहीं कि ऊपर दे दिया, फोड़ दिया, रॉकेट चला गया, काम खत्म, right? It won't have helped us to reach Mars on regular basis. So he found out that problem statement that we need a reusable rocket. Now he collected knowledge and data around that problem कि क्यों नहीं हो सकता, अभी तक कोई क्यों नहीं कर पाया. So major point was कि thrust कितना देना है to land a particular rocket on a particular point is a very big task. कि thrusting, जैसे if you guys have seen Iron Man, उसमें भी दिखाता है जब वो first time अपनी flight लेता है that he gets very random thrust numbers and he gets thrown out of here and there in his lab, right? So वो उनका problem state के they collected data around that and they built the reusable rocket. Second stage हमेशा ये होता है कि collection of data and knowledge around that problem. Third stage is finding out different approaches. Like Nirantar mentioned in earlier videos of ours, that one problem can be solved in multiple ways using different logics. So in similar sense, हम हर एक problem को different approaches के साथ solve कर सकते हैं. So if you have to move from, let's say, point A to point B, you can do different approaches. You can go by walking, you can go by driving, you can ride your bike, you can ride your bicycle, you can take a flight, or you can go by helicopter. So there are approaches to solve that problem कि कहाँ से वहाँ जाना है, right? So what I as an individual use, this is a kind of a tree approach I use to solve any problems that I have in my career or in life also. So first is always there is a root cause, right? So just think of this and bear with my drawing, it won't be that good. So let's just say I'll just change the color also, make it brown. So this is like a soil line, let's say. This is a soil. Then you will have roots under the soil which will be flowing like this. Basically I am making a tree and I call it as a tree approach to solve your problem. Then obviously you will have trunk in it. So let's say we'll draw a trunk of a tree, trunk or stem, I don't know what the correct word, but this is like a stem. And then there are branches to this. So every problem can be solved by looking at tree. That's what I think. This is your root cause, right? Then this is your data point and knowledge, which should be huge. And these are your approaches. Now if you think structurally, again this is a mapping of your problem, right? कि मैंने पहले एक मैप कर ली रूट कॉज. अब ये रूट कॉज तो कितने भी हो सकते हैं ना. एक इनको आइडेंटिफाई, राइट रूट कॉज आइडेंटिफाई करना मतलब इस रूट्स में से एक चीज़ को ढूंढ के निकालना है. सो लेट्स से इंडिया इज़ नॉट विनिंग इन द क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप. सो उसमें तो बहुत सारे रूट कॉज हो सकते हैं. कोई बॉलर्स विकेट नहीं ले रहा है, देयर आर प्लेयर्स हु आर नॉट प्लेइंग एट देयर बेस्ट, दे आर नॉट मेकिंग रन्स, एज अ टीम वी आर लूजिंग ऑन फील्ड बिकॉज ऑफ fielding issues. So identifying root cause out of all these is your first stage always. So this is what we call a hypothesis building in analytics. So hypothesis क्या होता है कि you state a condition, it can be true or it cannot be true. दोनों में से एक ही चीज़ हो सकती है, right? So hypothesis is something like saying every person who is above 5 feet high will be an fit person in the world. अभी हमें ये स्ट्रेट अवे पता है कि ये हाइपोथेसिस गलत है. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि 5 फीट के ऊपर के सारे बंदे फिट होंगे. सो वी सिंपली से दैट दिस हाइपोथेसिस इज नॉट ट्रू, राइट? सो रूट कॉज मतलब यहाँ पे यू बिल्ड हाइपोथेसिस कि ये हो सकता है, शायद ये हुआ होगा, शायद वो हुआ होगा. That's how you start with a problem. That is your first stage. Second stage is data point collection and knowledge. Now you stick to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 routes. मतलब 10,000 चीज़ें हो सकती है, तो उसमें से तुम 5-6 ऐसे मेजर चीज़ें पकड़ लेते हो that this will have major impact on our problem. ये शायद रूट कॉज होने के चांसेस सबसे ज़्यादा है. So we will collect data points and knowledge around those root causes. And this white trunk और stem represents it. बेसिकली वहाँ पे साइज ज़्यादा है ना, सबसे बड़ा वो पूरे ट्री का. तो दैट रिप्रेजेंट्स कि यार ये सबसे ज़्यादा होना चाहिए हमारे पास. इफ़ यू हैव मोर डेटा पॉइंट्स, मोर नॉलेज, यू कैन सॉल्व प्रॉब्लम्स मच मोर इफेक्टिवली. तो अभी जैसे बिजनेस एनालिटिक्स में इट शुड बी हाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड योर बिजनेस. दैट्स वाई वी स्टार्टेड आवर सीरीज विथ कि बिजनेसेस कैसे फंक्शन होते हैं, उनके क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, उनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या होती है, हाउ दे मेक मनी, हाउ दे लूज मनी. सो दैट्स वाई हैविंग दिस नॉलेज विल हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड दीज रूट कॉजेज मच मोर इफेक्टिवली. अब इसके बाद लाइक आई सेड, हमने इसके पहले वीडियो में देखा कि एक प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए जैसे उसको हर महीने देखना है कि मंथ टू टिल डेट ऑर्डर्स बढ़े या नहीं बढ़े हमारे, राइट? तो और क्या प्रोग्रेस रहा है उनका डे ऑन डे. तो उस केस में देर आर मल्टीपल अप्रोचेस टू सॉल्व दैट प्रॉब्लम. देर आर फ्यू मैनुअल्स, फ्यू ऑटोमेशन में भी और कुछ और भी बना सकते हैं हम लोग. we only discuss one. So these approaches will give you fruits, different kind of fruits, and those fruits are nothing but your solutions. Let's just say I'll try to draw an apple. Let's see how I draw it. I guess it looks like tomato, but ठीक है. So यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, अगर मैंने ये ब्रांच से ये जो अप्रोच डिसाइड किया था, मतलब मेरे पास 4 अप्रोच है, 1 2 3 4 5, इतने अप्रोचेस है, और मैंने ये वाला चूज़ किया जो 1 है मेरा, और ये आ गया. तो दिस इज़ माई सोल्यूशन. सो दैट्स हाउ आई स्ट्रक्चरली फ्रेम अ प्रॉब्लम, and that's how I try to solve them. Or this is not just related to analytics, but it is with everything in life also. If you figure out this way to solve your problems in maybe your personal life, in finances or your growth, everything will happen if you just think in this structure. So this is something I wanted to share you guys with today. You guys have any questions about how we solve this approach, how do we solve through this approach, is something I will take an example of any analytics problem, and we will discuss that in the next video. But for now, if you guys have any doubts about the process, you can ask.
So I had one question. So in this approach, we are defining the root cause, right?
Yes.
First. So while defining the root cause, are those assumptions at the start, or those will be based on facts?
Okay. So
Because yeah.
go ahead, complete your question.
So because we are our next step is collecting data points and knowledge. So the defining the root cause will not be based on facts, right? Because facts we are collecting after defining the root cause. So we are hypothesizing the root cause, right?
Correct.
Assumptions.
Correct. So yeah, so there are two types of problems: open-ended problems and close-ended problems. When you have close-ended problems, you always have an answer. You don't need to figure out root cause क्या है, because you already know what is the root cause, right? I'm talking about open-ended problems. Now when we see an open-ended problem, we might not have even a knowledge about where to look at. So what kind of facts and data points and knowledge we will collect, we don't even know where to start, right? So we start building hypothesis to do that. कि मैं सोचूंगा यार ये करके चेक करके देख लेता. We do this and that. This is kind of an exploration phase where you try to do things and try to figure out ki what is happening around that problem. So एक simple example, like I took an example of Indian cricket team not winning the World Cup. Now we know it's a open-ended problem, right? अभी हमें पता ही नहीं ना. We have to measure two parameters to understand why we are losing. But for a particular match you could say कि यार हाँ इसने रन नहीं बनाया, इसने बहुत रन दे दिए बॉलिंग में, या this person gave lot of did not take lot of wickets, right? So you can point for a match, but for a whole series if you have to say, you have to figure out multiple things. It can't be just based on one match that you lost entirely, right? There has to be multiple factors that to be defined. So यहाँ पे इसलिए when I say when we start with the root cause, it's just generating assumptions that it might be true, it might not be true, and you start eliminating those assumptions. तो यहाँ से ना ये एक एक रूट्स कम होता जाएगा. अच्छा ये नहीं है क्या, ठीक है इसको क्रॉस कर दो. अच्छा ये तो नहीं, बंद कर दो. So every time you think about an hypothesis and if it gets nullified by your data points and knowledge, then it's gone. And knowledge is a kind of a partial thing between this and this. You have more knowledge, you will build more effective hypothesis. If you have more understanding about business, your hypothesis will be on point. Randomly generate नहीं होंगे hypothesis, right? So that's the answer for, I guess, your question. I guess you understood that knowledge is a two-way thing in here. To make an assumptions having less probability to get the correct आंसर. मतलब 10 अगर assumption बने उसमें से 2 तो सही हो, 5 में से 2 से 2, you need more and more and knowledge will it be with experience. It won't be happy overnight. मतलब आज भी अगर मुझे कोई बोले तो I won't be able to make it like 10% success rate in assumption or 20% success rate in assumptions for a very open-ended problem which I have never heard of. The problems which I am known of that businesses face, I'll be able to guess, let's say, with 40% or 60% of accuracy. So that's something that will happen over the time. Great, that's it for today, and I hope you guys have understood the tree approach. In the next part we will try to learn how you solve a problem for a data set, and we will be starting out our sessions with understanding of a data in terms of analytics perspective. From here onwards it will be more of an tool using of like Excel, SQL and Tableau and Power BI, Tableau or Power BI maybe, and try to figure out solutions and build analytical solutions for any particular business individual. Thank you for joining today's video.
Thank you.
Thank you.